Welcome to Joe's Astrology. This is the birth chart for Meek Mill with no birth time. He's a sun in Taurus and a moon in Leo with Neptune squaring the nodes. And the reason why, I'm going to get into the reason why that's important. Let's start here with the sun in Taurus, and we have the moon in Leo. This is a person, I've known a couple people with this combination. This is a person that will be more likely than not involved with making money, and particularly when the sun's in Taurus, and then when we have the moon here in Leo, the moon in Leo being someone who's going to be a performer, someone who shows off in some way. Of course, he's a recording artist, so we have that. But even in mundane life, when people who aren't celebrities, who have this sun in Taurus, moon in Leo, you often see them uh, wanting to show off in that way. We think of in social terms, somebody who's trying to one up their neighbors, etc. They may not look at it that way. They may look at just they're attracted to luxury life. Um, they want to live a better life, etc. But just strictly Leo, if we're looking at Leo from a surface level, that's what Leo will want to do. And especially with the moon there and the sun in Taurus, this person is going to want to live that lavish lifestyle. And we see he also has Jupiter and Venus in a fire sign in Aries, and that is more indication that this person will get that lifestyle. And it's there with the North Node where he's headed. Usually, the North Node is really going to help drive that Jupiter Venus into reality, the good fortune into reality. And that's also in the decan of the Leo decan. It's also making a trine back to this moon. So we see all of this, the idea of it being a trine to the moon in Leo is really, all this is really helping to drive this Jupiter Venus North Node combination. We can go to a South Node and see the South Node is in Libra, the ruler is Venus, and it's coming back to this North Node. So a lot of heavy energy moving forward versus being in the past and being stuck. We can see that his Neptune is squaring these nodes. Now I mentioned that because he did do some prison time. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did some prison time, and we can see there with Neptune being the ruler of prisons, uh, squaring these nodes. There's uh, something that he would have to resolve between these nodes in Aries and Libra. Without the birth time, I can only say that loosely that more likely than not has to do with relationships. I don't really know much about him. Um, there could be some mix up with somebody, some mix up with some relationship with somebody, and but with that being said, with this North Node, Jupiter Venus, it probably wasn't that big of a deal. He does have Pluto as well, moving towards the South Node, so that can give more indication that he's involved in some relationship that would come back to haunt him. Something to do with um, the underworld, Pluto, mystery, hiding things, etc. We can see his sun and Mercury in the Virgo decan, so there could be some involvement with having to improve himself, having to make some kind of adjustment. We can look and see if there's any more indication of that by looking for the inconjuncts, the quincux in the chart. And there is a quincux between the moon, and it could be closer than this because we don't have the birth time. The moon could be in an inconjunct with uh, Neptune. We see that it's a Scorpio inconjunct. So as I was talking about these underworld dealings, and you can see it comes back to that Neptune, this idea of prison. I'm not looking at the transits, but I'm sure this was transited at the time he did do some prison time. See if there's anything else. His Mars is in Gemini. It's making a sextile to the moon, and it's making a sextile back to that Jupiter. So, very ambitious person. We see that with the Mars being a sextile aspect to Venus and Jupiter, particularly Jupiter, and the moon as well. So, everything involving that's this Jupiter Venus conjunction and this moon in Leo, and even the sun in Taurus is in a semi sextile. Everything involving that, he's a thinker. We see this Mars here. He's going to be somebody who's possibly strategic, um, really is planning all of this that he's doing. He's has an excellent mind for it, kind of scheming on how he's going to get rich. You can even say as a rapper that this Mars and Gemini, oftentimes with a lot of these rappers, we see a lot of Gemini. They're using their words, they're using their lyrical ability in order to make money. Taurus, Jupiter, Venus. And it's in even this Jupiter Venus in Aries ruled by Mars. Rap is considered an aggressive. We could consider this an aggressive music compared to other ways you would use your voice and your words to make money in the music industry. And speaking on that, he does have this opposition between Saturn and Mars. Saturn and Mars. And then we can also involve Uranus there. This is this Uranus, Saturn, and Mars opposition in the angle of Sagittarius and Gemini. This idea of being a teacher, using your words, storyteller, a genius storyteller, Uranus, and again, Saturn and Mars together being very what we consider something that's a hardcore industry, at least from our standpoint as spectators, as listeners. With that, I'm going to leave it there. We'll say one more thing. There is an inconjunct between Saturn and the Sun as well. And that is a Scorpio inconjunct too. So his work, his Sun, what he's really projecting out there in the world, this is what he's learning about. This is what he's trying to do. He's trying to make money, and he's trying to figure that out. How can he make money? How can he increase his self-worth? Taurus. So I hope you enjoy this and have a great day.